Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of Caydgaming. Today I am so excited to share with you, this is the free demo for the Spell Brigade. This game is kind of like Vampire Survivors. It's a horde survival-like game that is multiplayer co-op. You can play up to 4 people. And when I tell you I love this demo, I cannot wait for the full game. My friends and I have been playing this actually a decent amount, even though there is literally only 1 level. I've already played over 6 hours in a 1-level demo. So there are 4 different characters that each start with their own ability and stats, as you can see down here in the bottom left. And today I'm going to be showing you Reginald Shadowcloak. So go ahead, grab a coffee, and let's dive right in. I want to take a moment, by the way, to thank all of you for watching my videos. Thank you to those who have subscribed. I appreciate you and your support. It is a blast making videos for you guys. Jumping right into this, though, so I think the thing that the Spell Brigade does differently, and I think does really well, is it has quests for you. And also, you're not limited to, say, you can get 5 upgrades or you can get 5 spells before it's gone. So right here, I already leveled up. I can choose what I want, or I can reroll. And you get, this is so cool, you get a free reroll every time you level up. So I'm going to take this rare upgrade for spell damage. The ability that Reginald starts with is Astral Orbs, and essentially it fires an orb automatically. So I don't have to click anything, use anything, do anything to hit these enemies. And I do like the pickup radius, because when I stay like this, I'm close enough to actually get the experience as I kill them. So the game has that kind of quality of life already built in. Ooh, spell cooldown, another rare one. I'm taking it. Now, something else that's really amazing. So, unlike Vampire Survivors and other horde survival games, in this one, to upgrade your abilities, all you have to do is level them up by taking upgrades, which is really, really cool and really interesting. So, for example, right now, you can see in the bottom where my abilities are, and you'll see at level 5, I'll unlock a second ability, which I'll show you in a little bit, of course. But you can see that my Astral Orbs is level 3. If I take an Astral Orbs upgrade, it'll bring it up to 4. Otherwise, I could take, increase all damage by 5% or what have you, which is nice, maybe later on. I'm actually going to try a reroll, see if I can get something rarer. Perfect. This epic, all damage 15%. So that's exactly what we want. And to move around the map, you use W, S, A, and D. At the very top in the center, you can see the timer. The current quest is in the top right. I have a timer because right now my quest is survive. So that timer is just telling me I gotta survive for 38 more seconds, and then I'll be done. In co-op, I think one of the great things, funny things, is when I'm playing with my friends, with my family, so there is friendly fire in this game, and some of the stuff randomly shoots, and so in that way you can kind of almost unintentionally injure your friends. In terms of ability, so this is like a boomerang ability. It's not too bad, but it definitely needs to be buffed. I think it needs a little balancing. Solar Pulse is just like that AoE around you that damages. Necro Whirl is hysterical. You can hurt yourself with this, but it's a giant zone. It looks super cool that it will spawn anywhere. You can't control it. So for the sake of safety, I think what I'm gonna take Moonerang, just so you guys can see it. Yeah, it's not the strongest in the world, but I do like it, and if you do level it up a lot, you can unlock like electricity buffs or fire buffs that'll actually cause every single little hit with that Moonerang on each hit out and back to like bounce electricity or set enemies on fire, stuff like that. So, the cool thing about this game too, I would say, is that all the quests, there's no like strict, complete it within this time or you lose, at least not in this demo. So I think they've really balanced the Survivors like with co-op player versus enemy gameplay. And on top of that too, it never has that intense stressful pressure or anything where I'm kind of like panicked to make it happen, basically. I'm gonna go ahead and take cooldown reduction. I actually want to start shooting a little faster. So from here, so now my new quest, as you can see, is find and close the rift. And if you see on the top center, just a little to the left up there, that is essentially sending me to where the rift would be. It'll show me. So that way I don't have to fully just run around like a chicken with my head cut off. And since we beat the first quest, now I have a new enemy spawning. That happens every time. So for this quest, basically I need to stand in this rift, and you can see it slowly growing here. If I step out, it doesn't instantly close, thankfully. I think that's a very good quality of life thing for when you're playing single player or multiplayer, right? Multiplayer, you can't be hurting your allies when you're playing. So, you know, as you can see over there, it is only slowly lowering. So I can like run around, try and kill some stuff, basically. Here we go. What do we want? All damage 10%. Yeah, it's probably better. But by not upgrading this, in essence, by not taking those level ups, we're sticking farther and farther from getting those like fire upgrades or getting those electricity upgrades too. So I'm just going to keep trying to get in there as much as I can. And the more level ups, of course, the better. I think one of the benefits to not having like a time limit for any of these quests is not only is it lower pressure, but you can treat it like an RPG. You can grind up levels, right? I can spend as much time right now farming these bad guys. And obviously they aren't giving as much experience as some of the later enemies in this level. But like if I am struggling, I can walk around. I can walk really far away. I can gather experience until I have all that I need, basically. Spell cooldown 10% is not bad, but I want to see if I can get some. I don't need to worry about max HP. I'm going to take Astral Orbs. All right, so here we go. I am still working on the rift, but now I have this Astral Orbs level 6. At level 6 and at level 12, you get the new upgrade. So what I'm going to do for Astral Orbs, I'm actually going to take lightning so you guys can see what it looks like. So now if I hit an enemy, you can see lightning starts bouncing in between. And if the enemy doesn't die on that initial hit, it'll cause that electricity to bounce through. So the cool thing is electricity does half of your ability's damage. So for me, taking electricity actually really benefits high like total damage, basically, just as much as it might benefit like, you know, attack speed or something. So it's a really great idea where you can start seeing these kind of different builds pop up. And I think one of the really fun things too as well is that, you know, when you hit level 12, you don't have to take electricity again. You can actually continue to take, for example, fire next, and that'll actually give you something called plasma. So they have different elements, and then those elements kind of interact with each other differently. So you can get into cooler and cooler builds. So now that I've beaten that, I got a bunch of experience, of course, and I'm going to continue. I'm not really worried about upgrading Moonerang. I'm just going to keep taking things that'll upgrade my primary ability because it's one of my favorites. It's really strong, I think, in the options for all the abilities we have right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep taking upgrades for that. And now my next quest, as you can see, is Survive. We still have about a minute and 45 seconds before the next thing appears. All right, so I completed the Survive quest, and now we need to defeat enemies inside the Ritual Circle. I also have new enemies spawning now. There are these, like, bomb enemies that will run towards you to explode. Right now, this character has enough movement speed where I can usually just stay away from those without getting damaged, but some characters you do kind of want to take maybe even just like one movement speed upgrade. And again, I think a great quality of life thing for this one is this game is that, you know, you're not limited to only taking so many character upgrades. So I really can, I almost call it like a cozy gamers version of, you know, like a vampires like game, horde survival. And the reason why I say it is because, like, it's not a bullet hell, for example. It's not crazy. You can spend as much time as you want trying to level up or trying to complete your quests, which I think is a really good quality of life thing. And then on top of that, too, it's like, hey, you want to grind up and get so many levels that your game is not hard anymore? Go for it. Oop, yeah, I got hit by one of the explosions. I actually really love this game. One cool thing is you actually can have those explosions work to your benefit and kill the enemies around them. They will deal damage to enemies nearby, which is awesome. So I use that usually to take down some of the bigger mobs as they spawn. So that quest, super easy. I just had to kill enemies while the enemies are inside that circle. I'm gonna reroll and see if I can get something bigger than that. Oh yeah, see, there you go. Spell cooldown 15%. I also, while I was kind of flowing through this, I also got the knives. The knives are actually one of the strongest weapons. It shoots out 3 knives. And as you can see, I did get some like group damage upgrades, you know. I haven't upgraded those knives past level 1, but each knife deals about 100 or 420 damage. The only downside is they only shoot out in front of you. So, you know, I have tried a knife build before. I think I want a character that starts with the knives so I can like start that build from the beginning. But in essence, the knives, the one downside is that if they all hit one enemy, it's 420. It's not like it's adding up ×3. So, you know, little thing there. And maybe that is for balancing because the knives deal so much more base damage than everything else. But yeah, I love it. We now, since we completed that, we're back onto another survive quest. You can see I took some damage down at the bottom as well. I only have 200 health left on my health bar down there. Oh, this is huge. 25% damage increase. And we hit level 12. So now I can either do plasma or thunder. So double lightning, essentially thunder bounces around more than regular lightning. And plasma is lightning bounces around and also causes fire damage. So they'll start burning. This is really, really, really great when you are trying to essentially burn a bunch of stuff down simultaneously. Thunder works great if you are not killing everything instantly. So I think I'm gonna take plasma only because, you know, with thunder, if it is bouncing around, you're doing damage. But if stuff dies too quickly, then you're not really getting the full effect of thunder. So like thunder would be really great for Moonerang, for example, because it's not dealing as much damage. So it's gonna bounce around that electricity damage more often. Here we go. And you can already see, right, those little lasers bouncing between, and then they set fire, so things will start burning afterwards, too. Plasma is super cool. Taking fire is great. I almost feel like fire is better for, like, bossing, because you're not killing a boss, you know, instantly. You want that boss to burn. I sort of, like, so for example, if you take fire once, the enemy starts burning, and I think it's for, like, 1/3 of your total damage or something, but it's a continual, like, tick of damage. Whereas if you take 2 fires, I think it's called wildfire, it starts dealing like half of your damage and then it just starts doing it really, really regularly as well, which is pretty cool. It's just kind of hard to say. I almost had that. It's hard to say because, you know, for fire, I haven't yet seen why I would take that. Electricity is so helpful because it damages everything around you. You know what I mean? It bounces around. It helps you get some AoE. Because right now, for example, like the astral orbs are super, super strong. They just don't have any like AoE or piercing. So essentially lightning gives you that free AoE damage, albeit it's half, but still, that's like a huge upgrade for us. And I'm trying to play really cautiously here because you can see my health bar down there is only 50. The only way to heal right now is in a level up if you take the upgrade. Oop, yeah, I died right there. So the cool thing in this game, you have lives. In the top left, I have the lives up there, and then when you respawn, you do like a superhero landing, and you basically blow up everything underneath you. And so I really appreciate it because, you know, it's nice to be able to know, hey, if you die, the run is not over. Like, I think this game is very cozy, casual, friendly. I think it's very much something that you don't have to be like the sharpest, fastest, strongest player to be able to do it. I'm gonna take Necro Whirl just for the giggles. I'm gonna show you guys. And after completing that quest, so now, yep, there's my Necro Whirl. Now the boss has spawned. And the Necro Whirl will kind of prioritize where enemies are, thankfully. So it's not always just gonna cut you off, but again, that Necro Whirl can hurt me if I am not careful. So this boss, you can see his health bar up there in the top, and he spawns, you can see that shadow under me. I gotta keep running because that rune or obelisk or whatever that thing is called, if that hits you, it deals like 200, 400 health, some crazy number. So you wanna be really, really careful. I thought initially that maybe that thing spawning would also hurt enemies. It's not like the explosions. So I cannot make this thing spawn on an enemy to kill him, basically. But this boss, I spent a lot of time grinding. So I'm sort of cheating because it made that boss super easy, but I love it that way. I love that kind of infinite scaling, so you can kind of live up your power fantasy in this game. I think they really hit the mark in everything here. And of course, at the end in the bottom left, now I can see my spell stats. So clearly by only working on astral orbs, I was able to do over 850,000 damage. So super cool game. That is the Spell Brigade. I'll go ahead, I'll drop a link in the description below for the demo if you guys want to try it out. It is completely free to play for that demo, and I love it. I have beaten this game on all 4 of these characters now. It is a lot of fun, and I cannot wait for the full game to be released. If you like what you saw, go ahead and drop a like, please. That would be amazing. Of course, comment below. Let me know if you want to see more. I think this game, as fun as it is, it's even funnier and better with friends. I'll drop a family play video if you guys want to see it. So comment below. Let me know if you want to play this with me or if you want to see a family game. And then, of course, don't forget to subscribe. Those subscriptions help me so much, and I appreciate you for doing it, so thank you. You guys are beautiful. My name is Cade. I hope you enjoyed your coffee, and happy gaming.